No.
It doesn't work.
We had a young woman. She was a school teacher. She taught fourth grade. She had gotten into an accident, automobile accident, hurt her knee, got hooked on Percocets. Artie, within 2.5 years, she was robbing houses
That's unreal.
of her families, and then went to Edna Mahan.
Yeah.
And she was doing heroin and oxycodone. And she literally said to me, she goes, Jim, I felt like Alice in Wonderland. Like I dropped through the rabbit hole. Here I am, had this wonderful family, wonderful existence, fourth grade teacher, had this accident, Percocets, and then now I'm in state prison.
Right. Now, I mean, again, and all of a sudden you were a fourth grade teacher.
Yeah.
Now
She's an addict and grappling with it, and then she's come back, and but it's just people, when I talk at a community or VFWs or churches, I say this is not like for my generation drinking Jägermeister.
No.
And you get through it, as bad as that was, but this your mind is changed,
right,
with the fentanyl, and so it's so destructive.
So what do you think the reason is for, like, why do they even let people make fentanyl? Like, what? Like,
well, I mean, so much of the fentanyl comes in from Mexico, from China, and now synthetic.
But I mean, just legally. So what? I mean, it's
well,
prescribed.
They're supposed to be for. Look, at the end of the day,
but there's drugs, the law.
I can't agree with you more.
I mean, it's like how many?
How many pain drugs do we need?
Right. It's like Jerry Seinfeld used to have this great bit about Tide detergent, laundry detergent. Like every extra Tide gets your clothes whiter. How white can your clothes get?
Exactly.
Like how? I mean, you're in pain. Dilaudid takes care of pain. I've had Dilaudid. I mean, we need fentanyl from China. I mean,
yeah.
And the answer to me,
so much of it now is illegal.
Yeah,
and you meet with the DEA guys, the Drug Enforcement Agency guys, and they said, Artie, it's a whole different. I mean, you've got young guys ordering it off of the dark web,
right?
Literally being dropped off their house, and now the DEA says, that the fentanyl is not. The heroin, you would move bags of traffic through airports or into this country, and the fentanyl is 4 grains kill you. Like it's equivalent of 4 grains of
feds
sand.
are touching it and falling out from it. But again, to me, the reason they're making it, again, it's money. It all goes back to money because the dealers, what they do is, if you could, like a bag of dope, where I was buying in South Newark for a while, I got a bundle, which is, 10 bags for $50. That's $5 a bag. That's insanely expensive now when fentanyl comes in the game, because fentanyl, the dealers can cut it with that stuff, and it stays so strong. Now it's stronger. There's dollar bags of heroin.
But there's not even heroin.
Patterson.
There's not even heroin in the heroin. It's fentanyl being cut with.
Right, and then you move from heroin to fentanyl. Forget it, because if heroin, again, I said this before.
So,
heroin's not good for you. Good enough for you.
But I mean, what we're doing here right now maybe might scare the heck out of somebody into not doing this.
I really do, because when I grew up, again, there was a lot of glorification of drugs. Again, I mentioned the Rolling Stones. I loved the Stones. I loved the Who, Zeppelin, and you thought that's what, Keith Richards is being cool. He's playing Gimme Shelter on heroin. But what you don't see is,
the road back.
Is the first. There's no way to look cool in withdrawals.
No.
There's no way to look rock and roll. You are you're begging.
In a fetal position.
In a fetal position. You're begging like a little child. It's terrible. Dom, did you go to one rehab and get better?
One rehab, yeah.
And why do you think that is? Like, what?
I mean, I stopped dope in 2010.
That's a rare story. To be what they call a first-time winner. Yeah.
In 2010, I used my last bag of dope, and I went on Suboxone for 3.5 years. Okay. And I abused the hell out of Suboxone.
Yeah. So, but your clean date to you is when you got off the Suboxone?
Right. Okay. November 17, 2013.
Did you start getting it legally, or bought Suboxone on the street?
I was buying, I was getting it illegally, and that didn't, that wasn't enough. And then I started getting off Craigslist.
Right.
And then, all that.
That's another, again, you talk about being old-fashioned, Governor. And again, I'm in this. That's the other reason I think so many younger people are addicted. You just said it, technology, Craigslist, stuff like that. Your dealer is right in front of you. Wake up, so your laptop is your dealer. You're delivering the shit to kids' houses, and younger people know how to get. I couldn't get on Craigslist with 14 computers right now.
That makes 2 of us.
Give me my phone. If I don't know.
No, it's changed, and the accessibility to drugs is changed.
It's the doctors writing the scripts, then you get addicted. Then how do I get it myself? You said it before, the dark web. Who the hell in the 1940s jazz music?
Yeah.
You know, Miles Davis was getting high in the dark. I mean, now a 14-year-old kid or a fourth grade teacher
who doesn't make it bad, who doesn't make the best decisions for himself.
Right, of course. Well, that's the thing. Once again, I don't care how intelligent you are. Once you get into this dance, you're going to start making horrible decisions. Now, when they come out of prison and you say, okay, so you get through the addiction part and they feel like they're good, then at that point you say to them in this program, you say, what would you like to do? Like, what do you have any skills? What do you want to do?
So we look at. I mean, Artie, it's part of it is that you don't want to put a guy or a gal in a warehouse for 90 days and then they get punted after the health benefits come due and the warehouse
because that's
operators.
say you just get to this part, you get over the addiction, you get someone to hire them, and then all of a sudden 3 months now they're disappointed.
Exactly.
You know, right.
And remember that a lot of the guys and gals who were bright and who were selling dope made a heck of a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely. No. I mean, some of the dealers, I don't care what you say. There's no laziness, there's no stupidity. They could run AT&T.
So the point
it's just environment.
So the point is exactly getting them to transfer those skills, that intellect, that creative intelligence to something legitimate.
Right.
And so what we do is we do something called the TAPE test, the Adult Basic Education Test. We want to know what your mathematical skills are, what your reading skills are.
Because you do need to know your limitations too.
Yeah.
Like someone tells you I'm a dream, it's you know.
And so then you got to tell us what you want to do. And so basically we have career specialists that sit down with them and they perform these career tests that tell us, all right, what's your proficiency? What's your background? All right, what did you do in prison? We had one guy that he was in prison for Candido for 28 years. He's supposed to have a 50-year...
28 years?
Yeah, he's supposed to have a 50-year life sentence. Obama commuted him, and now he's got a restaurant in Jersey City, and he's doing great stuff.
That's a movie right there. So, I'd watch that movie.
So it's
but in other words, you're saying like a 4'11" Asian guy wants to play center for the Knicks. You're gonna go, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Exactly.
I need you to stretch a little bit. So again, there's a reality check.
Yep.
And then
it's your sobriety, it's your medical, it's your housing, and then it's your legal. So many of our guys come out and they've got, Dom can speak to this far better than I can. They walk out with 28 warrants. So all of a sudden your brother and your cousin has used your license.
God bless you guys, what you're doing.
700 times.
They walked
in. Artie, they walked in the day before that they walked into prison. They parked illegally. Now there's a warrant out for their arrest. And all of a sudden, they're walking down the street legally, and a police officer properly stops them for whatever reason, and there's a warrant for their arrest. Or they go to motor vehicle, and they go to the front desk, and the woman sits there in motor vehicle and pulls up the fact that there's 3 warrants outstanding.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen? You're not going to get a license.
We call Dom.
Yeah, you call Dom.
Dom.
Is Dom the fixer?
Dom's the fixer.
Is that what you do? Specifically, you deal in that?
Yeah.
So how come your head hasn't exploded yet? The red tape. God bless what you guys are doing. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean...
Tell them what
so
you
get a call like that. Like, what happens? Like, tell me that process.
The client comes in. They have a 5-day orientation period. And they come in, they see me. We usually request an abstract. And the abstract shows everything that's suspending their license. And we go, court by court.
So
if they have
let me go a
warrant,
little
I send a
slower.
letter.
Because Dom's in law school, and so what happens is...
talk like a lawyer. That's
good.
Exactly.
So what happens is we get it from Motor Vehicle Commission, and I want to thank Sue Fulton, because what we do is we get an abstract. An abstract is not just Artie, like, parking ticket, a moving fine, but it has everything on it. Every reason why, including child support.
Right.
Child support actually can't suspend your license anymore, but it used to.
But child support, man, those guys on child, they will find you. You can go to Nicaragua in the witness protection. Child support will find you.
And so basically...
And you'll do time.
And so tell them what you do.
And that holds a lot of guys back. It does.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, everybody needs their license, either to get the,
get
a job.
Absolutely.
To get identification.
Identification, yeah.
Just to be a citizen in the world,
Right. So a lot of them have municipal warrants.
It was pretty elegant there, Artie.
Thank you.
This is really pretty fancy. It's become pretty highbrow.
Yeah.
Citizen of the world.
This is what I wanted. I wanted a highbrow show. I need one.
So a lot of these guys, they have municipal warrants outstanding when they get released. So they come in and we'll usually run a municipal court case search that'll tell us everything.
You got to see what the warrants are for. If they, if it's a serial killer,
That's.
But a lot of it's petty stuff that
it's usually non-payment of fines. These are fines that they've done time for, and usually we can get time served for the $50 a day.
Right. So you'll get the warrants out of the system.
Right.
Right.
By communicating with the court on their behalf.
Yeah.
And so tell them, literally, you send letters.
How long is an average that take on average to get one warrant out of the system?
It depends on the court. The busier the court, the longer it takes. You got to stay on the courts because a lot of times you can't even get them on the phone.
But the judges work with us.
I'm sure you guys get respect.
Judges always work with us. Always.
I mean, I want to thank the municipal court judges. Superior. Right. They work with us well because they, these are the guys, Artie, that are trying to do something different.
Right.
So if you're going to whack them, I mean, where are we going?
I have a judge now. I'm on Hudson County Drug Court. And it sounds like I'm saying this to say, but it's a woman, Judge Venable. She's the best. She really cares.
She's the best.
I mean, she cares, man. You could tell there's pain in her face when she hears a bad story, and she wants to. She will, the story. She'll help you get a CDL. She'll work with you.
Yeah.
She'll work with you, and that's good to see because a lot of young kids stand in front of a judge. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's intimidating. So you need somebody who cares, and she does. But I mean, what you guys are undertaking, man, there's so many parts to it. So because now maybe you get someone that you start to care about who wants to do something, a particular career, but you try to push them into another career that's more realistic.
Yeah,
that's got to be hard to do too because people have dreams. I want to do this, but
and that's it because
so you try to find out what their skills are,
what their skills are, and what time management is. So I mean, one of the real problems, and you're aware, this is the demands of the court time.
Right.
So that if you're on parole, you got to report into parole. If you're on probation, if you're on drug court,
and it's drug. I'm on phase 1 of drug court at Hudson County, and that's like a part-time job.
And then you're going to do IOP, so you're going to make sure that you have to report.
I went this morning. I got court tomorrow. I got probation Thursday. There's random urines. It's a full-time job.
And so the whole goal is to get you in a place where you're making sure that you're acting in your sobriety.
Structure.
So. I mean, we work with, so you got to understand, you're not going to be able to go to school full-time at Hudson County Community College if you're on drug court. So it's going slow and steady.
And as a drug addict, and I'm sure Dom can relate to this, is you just hit on something else. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Drug addicts don't want to wait. It's like if you're depressed and you're a coke addict and someone says, get on medication, get some therapy, in a year you'll feel better. Well, I can feel better in 10 seconds.
Yep.
I got to do a line of blow.
Yep.
You know what? Get a job, go get training. Well, why? I'll just sell a brick of dope and make make $1,000 a day
immediately,
and it's instant. So you're battling that too.
Yeah.
You're battling just a natural human want to like make money quick or get happy quick.
And it's also Artie guys that have been in prison for like 7 months, let alone 7 years or 17 years, feel like, hey, I've lost a lot of time.
Yeah. You know what if you could have, to me, what sums up what you guys are trying to do. In the movie American Gangster, Denzel Washington plays a legendary heroin dealer, Frank Lewis. He goes to prison for 14 years. He's in prison from 1977 to 1991. Okay? Basically misses the 80s. And when he goes away, he's listening to the OJs and the Stylistics and Kool and the Gang. Gets out. Now there's cell phones. He hears rap music, and it's Denzel Washington. They close the prison. They say, bye, you're gone. And he's looking around going, what the F do I do now?
Yep.
And
it's scary.
That should be your flag for what you're trying to do.
And it's scary to those guys.
Yeah. It's scary. This is a dangerous guy. He's like, but so here's the thing. Now, what does he go back to maybe?
Yep.
What he knows, dealing.
Yep. You go back to running and gunning and doping.
Right. Ripping and running.
When I was working up at Harlem, and I would see these guys that came out as Sing Sing, and these guys were built, and you would say, all right.
Yeah, they weren't Catholic. They get more dangerous.
And you would say, look, could you call up for a GED? And so many of them couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They couldn't make the call.
Just the call itself.
The call itself, Artie, it's like all it is, because what happens years in prison, years in being in an institution, you're being taught to do what somebody else tells you.
Right.
And so getting them to think for themselves.
It really is. I mean, again, I've just done a lot of jail time, but, you got to wait for people, and you're locked in mentally. Again, there's the physical stuff, the medical stuff, the sobriety stuff, but it really is, Pete, I'm not taking anything away from guys who go to war, but it's similar to going to war. And you're looking over your shoulder. The other thing is you don't trust anybody. I don't trust this guy who told me to call. I don't trust the person I'm going to talk to on the phone.
Exactly.
What do they want from me?
And that's what what's great about what we do because they know we're there for one reason.
Right.
We're there to be your
I can tell
family.
just
We're there to
talking
be
to
your
you,
advocate.
you know-
we're not there for any reason. We're not reporting you. We're not. All we're there is to help.
We're here to help you.
Yeah.
And again, you talk about the other people in your family it affects. I mean, I have a very close Italian family, Jersey, and they felt my pain. Like my mom would tell me, when you're in jail, I'm in jail. And my uncles, my cousins, my aunts, they're such wonderful people. My close friends, my sister, who's saved my life so many times. You start to see they start to look like they're on drugs because of how tired they are. But I got to say, when Don was nice enough to set this up, and thank you, Don, very much for doing this, because this is important stuff. I was worried. I'm talking to a politician. Who knows if it's going to be bullshit? I could tell just by talking to you, man, you're into this.
No.
I mean, I could tell. I mean, I think being Jersey guys, we know bullshit.
Exactly.
I mean, I could tell.
I don't like recovering politicians.
Yeah, no, well,
I'm in a 12-step program.
You want to make a difference, I think.
Yeah.
And
it's just also,
I mean, listen,
important.
you could have chosen a lot easier shit to try to do. I mean, work on the parking authority or something. I mean, getting addicts, mostly addicts or mentally ill people out of jail and getting them careers, man. But
you see it, Artie.
Yeah.
You see, there's nothing better when you see people.
That's got to be the most rewarding thing ever.
Exactly.
Is seeing someone like,
even like right now, like God willing, somebody might pick up the phone and call us. Somebody might get their son or daughter into detox.
I got a long road before I get better, but I love my legacy to be that I helped even just a couple of people. But I can't, again, the reason this was so important to me, I wanted to meet you, but I'm saying I can't stress, based on what young kids say to me, they look at this career, and I'm a C-list celebrity at best, but I've made millions of dollars doing what I love. And the biggest thing that's keeping me clean right now is my career. So my biggest message is, if you're struggling and you need help in this area, call the New Jersey Reentry Program. Find them online, whatever you got to do, because what you need is whatever comedy is to me, you need your comedy. You need what these guys are trying to do, a passion, and especially, a man needs to know he's providing, and once you see that first paycheck.
And feel good about themselves.
Once you see that first paycheck and you're in society doing it the right way, it's a bigger high than the other stuff, than the ripping and running, the deal.
Exactly.
It is.